Motivation is an excuse for comfortable men. Men who are winning don't wait to feel motivated. They move because not moving feels unacceptable. Motivation is emotional, temporary, unreliable. And deep down, you know this. If motivation worked, you wouldn't be stuck. You wouldn't still be planning, still watching, still waiting for the right moment. Motivation is what men use when they are still okay with their situation, okay with being average, okay with being ignored, okay with knowing they could do more, but choosing not to. Shame is different. Shame hurts. And that's why it works. Constructive shame forces honesty. It asks the question you avoid every day. How did I let myself become this? Out of shape, behind financially, undisciplined, distracted, replaceable. Not because you couldn't do better, but because you didn't. Motivation whispers, start tomorrow. Shame says, you should be further by now. And that sentence hits harder than any quote ever will. Shame removes comfort. It destroys the lie that everything is fine. And until comfort is gone, action will always be optional. There are two types of shame. One destroys men, the other builds them. Destructive shame says you're broken, you're worthless, you'll never change. That kind of shame paralyzes. It creates escape, distraction, addiction. But constructive shame is different. Constructive shame says you're capable and you're wasting it. It doesn't attack your worth. It attacks your choices. It doesn't say you are the problem. It says you allowed the problem. That's an important difference. Weak men reject shame completely. They call it toxic. They call it unhealthy. But what they really want is to avoid responsibility, because shame forces a mirror. It forces you to admit, this is my fault, not society, not luck, not your past. You. And once you accept that, something powerful happens. Control returns. You stop asking, why did this happen to me? And start asking, why did I allow this to continue? That question changes behavior. It makes laziness uncomfortable. It makes excuses embarrassing. It makes inaction painful. Shame, when used correctly, burns away denial, and without denial, progress becomes unavoidable. This is why disciplined men don't run from shame. They use it. They let it sharpen them, pressure them, correct them, because a man who feels nothing changes nothing. There is a quiet thought that visits you late at night, when the noise is gone, when distractions stop working. I should be further by now, not smarter, not luckier, further, more disciplined, more established, more respected. You see men your age, or younger, passing you, and deep down, you know why. Not because they're better than you, but because they moved while you hesitated, because they stayed consistent while you looked for motivation, because they accepted discomfort while you searched for balance. That realization hurts. Good. That pain is honesty. Time does not care about your intentions. It only exposes your actions. Years pass whether you improve or not, and the shame doesn't come from being behind. It comes from knowing you had time and wasted it. This is where men split. Some numb themselves, they blame the system, they distract, they cope. Others feel the shame fully and let it correct them. They stop lying to themselves. They stop negotiating with weakness. They stop pretending effort is optional. They understand something critical. No one is coming to give you more time. The clock doesn't reset. The window doesn't reopen. The only thing you control is what you do next. And if this realization makes you uncomfortable, good. That discomfort is the beginning of movement. Shame is useless if it doesn't change behavior. Feeling bad is easy. Action is rare. Most men feel ashamed and then do nothing. They sit with the feeling. They scroll. They distract. They wait for it to pass. Disciplined men do the opposite. They convert shame into standards. If I'm ashamed of my body, I train. If I'm ashamed of my finances, I study and work. If I'm ashamed of my inconsistency, I remove distractions. No drama, no self-pity, no speeches, just correction. Shame becomes a signal. This cannot continue. And that signal triggers rules. Wake up earlier. Train even when tired. Track money. Limit pleasure. Increase output. Not because it feels good, but because staying the same feels worse. This is how discipline is born. Not from confidence, not from motivation, from refusal. Refusal to remain weak. Refusal to stay behind. Refusal to respect yourself less than you should. Over time, something shifts. The shame fades, but the habits remain. And soon you don't act to escape shame anymore. You act because discipline is now who you are. This is the rule. If you feel ashamed, something must change. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Now. Shame is not there to crush you. It's there to wake you up. Every time you ignore it, you choose comfort over respect. And self-respect is not negotiable. Men who grow do not numb discomfort. They listen to it. They ask one question. What am I tolerating that I shouldn't? And then they remove it. Excuses, bad habits, distractions, weak routines, no speeches, no announcements, just execution. You will not always feel confident. You will not always feel strong, but you must always feel responsible because responsibility builds discipline. Discipline builds power, and power builds freedom. If your life embarrasses you, good. That means you still care. Use it. Correct yourself. Move. This is not motivation. This is shame, used correctly. Command yourself or remain comfortable. This is disobey your limits.